Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to City Skylines and the green power scenario. I don't know if you've noticed this, but almost every time I say welcome back to City Skylines and the green power, I always look down. I don't know why, but it feels really weird, just maintaining eye contact with the camera. That is a sentence that, out of context, you know what? We're committing to it. It's weird, man. I'm still getting used to this whole I just punched the microphone. This is going great. Welcome back to City Skylines. We're gonna play. We're gonna build a city, and it's gonna have a skyline. As you can see, I'm still rocking the I just got out of bed 16 hours ago look. You're gonna have to deal with that probably for the next couple of videos. I'm not sure what games those are going to be on, but yeah, we're going with this for a little bit because I can't be bothered doing my hair today. Last time we built this, we built an entertainment area, and I'm kind of happy with it. I kind of like how it turned out. It's not completely terrible, and I think it serves a good purpose. It brings tourists over here. It, gives us a football stadium, which we need to change this to be green, I guess, because green power scenario and Greensville and all that. We have an aquarium, we have an expo center, science thing. It's just a cool looking area. I'm really happy with it. I think it's just kind of interesting, and it's something a little bit different. Now, today, as I mentioned in the last episode, is probably gonna be the last episode of the green power scenario, because we're about 2,500 people away from a population of 50,000 people, which is the goal. And we've already done this zoning here, so we're already on track to get 2,500 people. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to gut all of this commercial, and I'm going to pull all of this out of here too. And we're going to replace it with, that was low density. We're going to replace it with high density just to deal with the demand that's popping up. And I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out maybe, what is that? That's about 8 there. So we'll pull that out, and we're going to replace that with a strip of offices just so that we can maybe deal with a bit of that demand as well. I don't know if it's industrial demand that we're having right now, but we have some kind of demand and we do need to deal with it. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. We can build into this space as well, and I think that's something I'm going to do since we've not really touched on this area yet. So let's just get started today by building something in here. And it's going to be something simple. It's not going to be the fanciest layout. If anything, I might even just do sort of a one-way system type thing here, because that might be kind of neat. But let's just do, I don't know, let's turn off guidelines. Let's do this. Let's do a nice one-way system that goes down to about there is probably fine. We can go to about there, and let's do this for a second so I can just try and line this up a little bit, because I want to try and use this space as best I possibly can. So something a bit like that is probably fine. We can connect you guys together, and then getting this to come back down here is going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? It's going to be, well, actually, it might not be. Hold on a second, because I could maybe do that and then flip it and then connect these guys, and that might look kind of interesting. This might be, that might be the best way to do it, right? Just give us that kind of weird space. I'm okay with that. I don't hate it, is what I'm getting at. I think it's fine, if a little bit, weird in terms of the zoning. But if I do that, maybe not that way. What if I do it the other way? Is that, no, it's still weird. It'd be nice if I could get the zoning to line up properly. Is that a thing I can do? So if I do that, that does line up properly, but then this guy doesn't. So okay, what if we extend you, do a bit of a flip on that, and then bring this guy over like so? Does that give us It does. That gives us good zoning along that road, which is what I want. So, what I'm gonna do is plain and simple, go in here and do a path like that. And I'm gonna do a path there, and I think that'll work, even though it is kind of like right, you know what? We'll do it this way. We'll do it there, just so it looks a little bit better. And I think it does look better. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna throw in some taxi stands, and I'm gonna do these just to block the zoning on that road, because I don't want anything building here. And actually, what I could also do is move these slightly, and then, oh, how am I gonna do this? I'm not actually sure what, I mean, because I could do this, right? But we're going to have like individual buildings, which is maybe a bit weird. But I guess that's okay. I just wanted to stop anything from building on that avenue. I guess that's fine. I guess this will kind of work. Let's just do some pipes in here and get it, you know, working in whatever way this is going to work. And I think honestly, it's just going to be office zoning. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. And what we can do with it is sort of go in here and maybe, if I'm kind of lucky, go ahead and say that we can get some paths that sort of go in here. So that can kind of go that way. We could cut into this a little bit. We'll bring you, so we'll bring you to there, bring you to there, and bring that to there. And I think that looks all right, because what I can do is we can have that loop around in whatever way it's going to loop around. You can go there and like that. So we have that little connection straight through. And I mean, looking at it, it would probably be better to just do that slightly differently. So just do that right there. That's a lot better. And we can just put some trees in. We can do something to detail the area a little bit, you know, make it look kind of fancy, make it look kind of nice, and like it's not just a big old grassy area, I guess. So we'll do a little bit of color, and we'll do a little bit of color there too. And I think that's fine. It's gonna need a bit more than that. Don't get me wrong. We've got these areas here to do something with, but for now, that's fine. It's dealt with the demand that we had, and it's its own little area with hopefully not too much of an impact on traffic in the rest of this area, but we'll see. We'll see how that ends up going. This space over here is, I mean, none of the residential has grown, so that's a bit of a pickle, I suppose. It'd be nice if it did, but we're probably just going to wait. And we're probably, oh, wow. So this whole area has built, and we still have demand for more commercial zoning. That's a little bit frustrating, isn't it? Also, these guys, hold on a minute. We can get rid of the cemeteries. So that's a thing we'll do. What if, so we've done that. What if we go in and say, you know, gut all of this residential and fill those spaces with commercial. So we'll have that right in the heart of everything. We can pull out all of that commercial zoning. We can pull that commercial zoning out. We can do some commercial there and there. We can do commercial there as well. And actually looking at this guy should all be residential. But that'll be a bit more. So that's hopefully going to pull that demand down. We do have more demand for industry. So what if we did some offices there? And I mean, we could pull some residential out of here, I guess. We'll do some offices right there and see how it goes. I'm hoping we see a bit of a population increase though, because we have serious industrial demand. And I don't know if it's industry or if it's offices, because looking at it, we're not getting any complaints about not enough goods or anything like that. So I think we're doing okay. I mean, this guy's complaining, but that's, to be fair, not enough fish, which is a bit less of a concern. What are you all mad about? Why has everyone just gotten like considerably more annoyed with me? Something just burnt down, I think. And I don't know what. Also, what was this? What was in? Oh, I don't know. I feel like something burnt down and I have no idea. Anyway, We're not going to worry about it. I've got other things that I need to do. Specifically, I want to connect this metro station to the central one. So all of these buildings kind of need to go away. I just get rid of a bit of road that I didn't want to get rid of at all. That's not great. We'll put that back in. We'll put the zoning back in there too. But what I'm thinking is I want this to line up nicely. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because it's maybe not going to work. Although looking at it, maybe. We'll find out. So if I do this and then this, can I get a guideline that's going to let me, you know, come out of there and go like that? It doesn't seem like it, does it? It seems like, I guess this is going to want to put a pillar under there, isn't it? That ever so slightly messes up my road design, but I'm going to do it because I'm committed to this idea. So that is kind of what we're going to have there, which I wonder, can I put the road back in there? Oh, I can. That's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, that makes me kind of happy. I was worried that it was going to be like, no, can't do that anymore. But no, we're fine. So we have that going through. It's going to go to here. And it's going to have to go down pretty quick is what it's going to have to do. So we'll turn off road guidelines. We'll keep road length. And it's just going to go down to ground level. And it is going to be kind of steep, unfortunately. And then it's going to have to do like an ugly little 4x4 curve. Oh, it needs to go underground with this as well, doesn't it? Oh, that is not pretty. It just isn't, but I think it's going to have to be that way. Because now I need to like loop it around. So it comes up here and it goes like that. Basically, I mean, that's a bit too steep, but you get the idea. So road guidelines back on. We go to about, well, we probably don't need road guidelines, honestly. Basically, we're doing this. It's not great. It's not pretty, but it's gonna do. The other thing to keep in mind with this is that line actually goes through there already. Which begs the question, do I need it? Do I need it to go the whole way through? I don't need it to go here, but I kind of like the idea that it does. That's kind of cool to me. And then this guy is going to come in and stop there. And this guy's going to stop there. And I think that's pretty cool, to be honest. I do. I think that's kind of cool that it, you know, we have one that does shuttle back and forth, but we also have one that goes from here. And if I wanted to, I could have the... No, I don't know. I feel like the shuttle might not be needed anymore. And I think we'll get rid of it just because I don't think it's going to be needed. So we'll take it out. We have this guy going back and forth, which is probably more than enough. And that's good. So that gives us that connection that we wanted. We have this going through here. And what I'm going to try to do to hide this monstrosity is I'm going to put a bit of road in here, and I'm going to put some buildings on it just to desperately try and hide that. And I'm probably going to put some trees in there too, just to, again, desperately try to hide this travesty. So there we go. That'll be fine once the buildings are in, and, well, hopefully that'll be fine once the buildings are in. Now, I am noticing a lot of death, which is generally something that we don't want. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll throw a crematorium there. We can throw a crematorium into maybe this spot as well over here, just to give some coverage to that space. We are going to need one up here as well. So I don't know. Where do we want to go for this one? Maybe that corner. We'll put one right there and that'll give good coverage. We're going to need one in here too. So let's go for, I don't know, maybe right next to the park, I guess. So right in there. And that's kind of decent. We're gonna need one in here, so behind the elementary school, naturally. And we're gonna need one up here, so sort of by the entrance of the district, and that'll be fine. I don't really want to put one in the entertainment area. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't seem like somewhere that I want to put a crematorium. And I'll put a couple down there as well, just to cover that entire area. And that should be more than enough in terms of death care. We'll hopefully see whatever death wave was going on there kind of be pushed back a little bit. I don't know why I had to like emphasize it like this, but death wave? No. Oh man, I've just noticed how bad traffic is around here now. That's terrible. Like it's really tailing. Oh my God, it's tailing back onto the highway as well. I am slightly concerned about that, although I guess it is also still kind of the main entrance to the city, so it sort of makes sense. It's still not good though. That's not a good sight. That's not something we want. So I might just get rid of it. I honestly might. I might just get rid of it and see what happens. It's tempting. You know, just let people come in here and leave there, rather than going into the heart of the city, because they have got... So I guess what that would do is force them onto this roundabout, and then they would probably hit this avenue and go that way. So it probably wouldn't help to get rid of this thing, but I might do it. I'm not going to do it yet though, because I actually want to come over here and I want to try and do some stuff around the university, because I realized that was something that I talked about at one point and we've not done. So I'm going to bring a road. This might be a little bit close for what's essentially going to be a main road, but I'm going to do a road like this. And I'm going to bring it out. It was almost perfect right there. I'm going to bring it out there. And I'm going to hope that these actually line up, which they don't, annoyingly, but that's fine, I guess. That's frustrating, but it's going to have to be fine. And I think what I'm also going to do is bring a road here and up to, I guess, about there. I guess about there is going to be fine. So that way we can put some stuff around the university. Then we can surround the university in trees like what we've done over here. And I think that'll look kind of cool. I'm also thinking this road here could probably just be a single lane one. So something a bit like that. And then in here could be, I guess, commercial and I guess offices. We'll just do something relatively simple. It doesn't need to be too complicated. So we'll do, let's see. Let's maybe go for another one of these guys. This isn't going to be perfectly central, but it'll be good enough. Well, slightly more there. Is that perfectly central? What is that? That's 204019. That's close enough. It'll do. Hold on a minute. What is that? 1980. Yeah, it can't go central, so that's fine. Let's just go from here up to about there. And yeah, we can just do some shops on this. We can do some regular roads on this. We can do, let's see. Do I have any interesting roads that we could play with right now? I can never remember for the life of me. We have the industry roads, but I think we'll just stick with what we have. Has this asymmetrical 3-lane road always been in the game? Why do I feel like I don't know when that was added. I don't know when that was added. That's new to me. Anyway, we'll put some roads in here and we'll go ahead and do the same here. And these gaps are kind of weird, but whatever. We'll do the same there. And in the middle, we'll go, it's going to be a little bit off in the middle. That's kind of, I don't really want it to be. I don't really want it to be off in the middle. So what if we did that and then that? I think that'll be fine. I think we'll have a little bit of a gap. We'll have a little bit of an overlap. And on that side, it's fine. Interesting. Okay, so these guys are actually going a little bit too far. So they need to go there. and you need to go there. So we're going to have a larger gap on the right side. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. And it's a very basic looking area, but I think it'll do fine. We'll put some paths in. We'll make it look nice. Question mark. We'll make it look like something, and then it'll be okay. Okay, this seems like a decent layout. We have plenty of paths. We actually have some space where you can walk down into the university. So let's just cover this area in zoning. I'm thinking all these main avenues here can just be commercial. And then everything on the inside, I mean, I feel like those bits should be commercial. I feel like all of those bits should be commercial, and then the rest of it can just be offices. And I'm hoping that's going to work out. I'm really hoping that's going to be fine. I have connected some paths through, so we're hopefully going to see some good things there as well. And I guess while it builds, I'm just going to put some trees in here. I'm not really sure what kind of trees, but I think these guys will look kind of interesting. So we'll do a bunch of these and just see how the whole thing turns out. Hopefully this gets rid of the demand that we have, and hopefully we see the population go back up, because we need near 5,000 people now. So I think it's fair to say I might have gotten a little bit ambitious with my goals, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Once this all builds, I'm sure the demand for residential stuff will just shoot straight up there. I'm pretty sure the death waves we're having it's not helping either. The death wave it's a hindrance, but we'll manage, is what we'll do. I'm also going to say that that's going to be commercial, and that this is all going to be commercial. And I'm going to do some commercial down here as well. Just because I can. Just because I think that would, you know, make a bit of sense. Just completely surround the university in all this stuff. And then I also do want to go in and do some stuff with the university. So I want to bring some paths sort of, I don't know, down to there-ish. Go like that and sort of bring it back up. Even if this doesn't really get used for anything, it's going to help me sort of map out, you know, where everything for the university is. So if I turn off road length and turn off grids, I can get this nice and close to that corner, I think. And it sort of connects. It's not the prettiest connection. So maybe moving it just to about there would be a bit better. I don't know about that either. Turn off grid snapping and try and get it nice and close. I don't think, no, it's not really going to be pretty, is it? But I think that's all right. It's not the end of the world. I do want that though. And I want to come up here and sort of do a similar thing. So we'll go and do this. We'll do this. And we'll go and do that, I guess, and push some paths through here as well. So one there and one there. And that way we just have a lot of space where people can walk around the university. And that's kind of what I'm wanting, right? So all these different spaces they can walk around. When it comes to the university, it also means that we can go ahead and put in the cafeteria, which we'll do in a second once I expand this this district. I think this will be good. I do. I think it'll be good to expand this a little bit and just, you know, add another thing or two. So the cafeteria can go, what is this? Gymnasium. Can it fit anywhere? Oh, if it could fit down there, that'd be perfect. That really would be perfect if I could get it sort of in this space down here. I guess I could. I guess we could, you know, put it maybe there. But then that path down there is useless. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to put it like here. And it does get rid of those other paths, but that's fine. That's not, admittedly. So maybe we do flip it around because it does look dumb. So what about there? It still looks dumb, but notably less dumb, especially without the paths. So I think we'll just do the gym right there. And then up here, we can do the cafeteria since it's going to be in its own little space. It shouldn't look, yeah, it doesn't look too dumb. We can put some stuff around it to make it look less dumb. But I think that's fine. That seems like a good bit of, you know, additional space for the university. We've managed to get rid of all the demand that we had for commercial and industry. We've got some residential building down here as well, finally. So the population should start climbing, I hope. I gotta be honest, it's weird seeing the university actually surrounded by buildings now. It's cool though. It's weird, but cool. And also the trees. I don't think the trees look as good around that as they do on this, but that's mostly because a lot of the trees in here are different types of trees. And also I don't really know what to do with this front part because I don't think we can do trees there. I think it's going to look dumb if we sort of hide the front of the building with just an absolute forest of trees. So it's probably just going to be left alone. We're also seeing demand creep in for residential, which means that, yeah, this area here is actually built up, which means that we should see a lot of people. Oh yeah, we see a lot of people. Oh, we do see a lot. We do see a lot of people though. Let's change this up a little bit. I doubt that's going to do anything to help the flow of traffic in the slightest, but we do only need the 2 lanes, so that's fine. I'm also going to just downgrade this because it only needs 2 lanes as well. So that way we kind of have like a dedicated, you know, turning lane and stuff like that. So yeah, this is the city is really starting to show its age and its lack of careful planning. I wonder whose fault that is. Certainly it couldn't be me, right? Certainly couldn't be me. We'll not worry about it though. It's probably fine as long as we don't have a death wave, which it doesn't look like we do. We should see the population climb, and pretty comfortably as well. So we'll let it do that. And then what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start laying out some new sections of road. And I'm not really sure how well this will work out, but I'm going to go there. And then you can sort of run straight to there. And we're going to want to do some curves on this, but for now, I'm going to do it this way. So you're going to run to, let's see, let me turn on road length and grid again. You're going to run to about there, and it's relatively level, which is great. And I think that's about far enough to be completely honest. So what's 10 units of this? 800. Is that 800? No. Is that 800? No. Is that 800? 880? That's 800. So we want to cut there. And we want to cut there. Take those 2 bits out. And then turn on guidelines. And we should just be able to do a nice little 10 by 10 like that. And that seems okay. There's definitely some weird hills going on. But, you know, it's fine. I'm not really too worried about it. What I would like to do, though, is smooth this out a little bit, because it's definitely a little bit too... I actually don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, so we'll not worry about it. Let's just go ahead and do something like this. We'll just punch a road straight back there. So you can go to there. And then we'll go and do another one, say there. And I feel like what we could also do is probably this. I don't know that I'm gonna love having all these crossroads, but I'm just gonna do it for now, just to sort of cap these off. It does give us some weird space to work with. We're working with, you know, all these angled roads and whatnot. And I feel like I could probably put a roundabout in here too. I don't know how well it would work, but I do kind of want to put a roundabout in there. I think it'd be neat. I also desperately want to do something with this, because good lord, that is a bit steep. There we go. I think that's a little bit better, even if it's not quite perfect. It'll do. We are running into the issue of too much soil again, though, which I'm not exactly thrilled about. And I'm not really sure what to do about it either, because as it stands, we kind of dump it over here. So I guess what I could do is dump it over in the hills or something. I guess that's fine. So just sort of throwing it out here is probably fair enough. I kind of need to be throwing more of it out here though. So we'll kind of expand these hills a little bit. I don't know how great looking this is going to be, but it'll do. It's fine. I just need rid of all that soil is what I need. And then I want to go in and basically hit, I was going to say hit all of this with a smoothing brush, but I think what I'm going to do is just this and just sort of slope it and then hit this bit with a smoothing brush. And that's, yeah, that's kind of helped it a lot more than I actually thought it would, to be completely honest with you. I want this bit nice and smooth too, though, because, you know, buildings. So now I need to figure out what kind of districts we're going to do here, because I'm thinking we're going to need to split this up in a pretty substantial way so that we don't end up with like way too much traffic in sort of single areas. So if we did something like, ooh, power problems. Why are we seriously having power problems? We're only producing 541 right now. That's genuinely kind of surprising. Okay, I mean, we'll put a geothermal plant there and that will just about cover us. I'm actually a little bit surprised at that. Fair enough. I don't know how to feel about it. That's weird. That's not what I was expecting at this stage of the game. Yeah, I think what we'll do though is come in from about here and go to about there, and then maybe go from about here as well. So that'll be like two separate areas. We can maybe do something similar, say here-ish, and this can maybe just be one area. I don't know if we need to go too crazy with this one, but something like that. And then over here, we can kind of do the same thing. We do need to keep in mind that obviously some of these roads are at angles, so maybe we spice things up a little bit and also fix that zoning and do one at an angle here. So that can just sort of punch straight through there, and I guess that's okay. And I think that is okay. I think that looks all right. And on this side, maybe similar concept. I don't know if I just want the one though. So you would go there and you would go there-ish. And that should be fine. That'll give us plenty of space to work with in terms of, you know, giving traffic options. I don't know what I just said. I'm not 100% sure what I just said. Space to work with in terms of giving traffic options. I don't know if that means anything. I actually don't know if that means anything. That probably doesn't mean anything. It's fine. Okay, I have no doubt that this is going to be an absolute traffic nightmare, but that's fine, is what it is. It's just how it's going to be. It's just, I've accepted that this city is not going to have much in the way of good traffic management. And I think deep down, we've all sort of accepted that that's just going to be the way this city is going to be. Maybe at some point I'll fix it, but it's not going to be right now. And honestly, it's probably going to be never, because I just don't see it happening. I don't see the need, you know. It's the whole point of this, like that's where I'm struggling with this, right? I mentioned that this will likely be the last episode, and I think it is. We're getting really close with the population, so it's not like we're going to be sitting here, you know, like, oh man, we're going to have to wait another episode to get the 50,000 people. I'm not going to like put it off just because then, you know, that episode, you know, there we go, 48,000 people. That episode's not exactly going to be exciting. We're just going to sit and look at the timer and, you know, it's whatever. It's weird though, right? Because on one hand, I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I would kind of like to make the traffic flow a bit better. But the incentive that's usually there in City Skylines isn't really there, because that's not the challenge that's being set for this map this time. You know, the challenge is the 50,000 whatever, the blah 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 blah. So it's weird. It is weird. It's a strange feeling. Not really. It's not that I don't care about the traffic. It's just that it's difficult to justify caring about the traffic. You know, it's because I don't have to. It's a little bit liberating, I'm not gonna lie. It's a very freeing feeling, just not really having to care. But it also seems like a dangerous feeling, not having to care. So we'll see how it plays out. I think what I am gonna do is, since we have all this demand down here for offices, is I think this weird area down here can just sort of be entirely offices. I don't think that's the worst idea in the world. And I think we can maybe go ahead and put some paths through here. So we'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. And we'll just go back and forth like that. A little bit of a weird space, but whatever. And then here is just going to be a simple there and not like that. There. And that should be fine. That shouldn't really be a problem. If we really wanted to, we could do this as well. Now that I think about it, which I don't hate. We don't need to do it, but it's also kind of nice. So let's put a tree in there. Let's do this right in the middle. We'll do that, and we'll do that, and we'll do the same sort of on this side as well, just to make it something a bit different, you know. Then over here we can do 1, 2, 3 to hide that kind of cliff looking thing, and that looks all right. It doesn't look dreadful. We can do some trees in those spaces too. And honestly, the rest of this, at least for this area, is going to be residential. And I think down here is also going to be entirely residential, because that's kind of what I just want these spaces to be. I want a big chunk of residential zoning in there, and also probably some services, now that I think about it. So fire can go there. I guess policing can go, I'm going to say there. And I'm being kind of strategic with these to try and bridge gaps a little bit. And then medical, I mean, we could put a hospital in here. A hospital there actually is not a bad little spot for it. But I'm also going to do a little clinic just to try and continue to bridge the gap of power. And then I guess we could also go ahead and do, what have we got? Sports halls and gymnasiums. These guys, the cryo preservatory things. Does that bridge the gap? No. It almost does, but not quite. So what about one there? There we go. So now everything has power. This whole area is starting to build. Honestly, I just want to see what it does to traffic, because traffic down here is pretty bad. Traffic here is pretty bad. So to be honest, it just makes me want to make another way into the city, which we could do a way into the city that goes all the way like under that mountain, crosses over here, and then you can go in up there and leave down here. Might be a bit weird, but we could do it. And I'm slightly tempted to. And I think I might. I think I might do it. And I think I can see how I could do it as well. So if I was to, and this is dumb. I don't need to do this. We're less than 1,000 people away from where we need to be. But I'm going to do this just because I can. So if I go and I do this, right? So this goes to, oh boy, about there. And this guy goes to there. What I can do is grab this, rotate it, and slope too steep. Now that's fine, because I'm going to flatten that, at least for now. It's going to look dumb, but we'll fix it afterwards. Then I can put you there, and you can maybe see what I'm going to do, right? We're going to turn these guys into tunnels, basically. So if I go from, take that guy out, and I go, underground and go here, or rather go and do this. I don't know how well this is necessarily gonna work, but that would be the idea. And then we hit this area with a bit of a smoothing brush and try and make it look a little bit less silly, which I think it's gonna look regardless, because let's be honest, it's just gonna. But we'll do something like that, right? It's dumb looking, but it's fine. So that's just gonna run all the way up here, turn into a bridge, and it's going to connect over here. And there we go. I'm not so sure how well this is going to work, but it'll do for now. It goes underneath absolutely everything. It's connected up down here. I genuinely have no idea if this thing is going to be at all useful, but I'm curious to find out is what I am, because I think it looks interesting. It looks like it could be useful, right? It's another way into the city that's hopefully going to take traffic away from here. It's hopefully going to pull some traffic from down here. It is pulling some. Most of it is going up and over, which is all right. Although I'd kind of like to do something about that. I'd like to do this, right? And then I'd like to say that this is going to be turned into 2 lanes. That seems like a good way to do things. And then this is going to be turned into 2 lanes. Or, well, we'll do it 2 lanes without the sound barriers. And then this is going to be 4 lanes. So there's 2 lanes to go left. There's 2 to go straight on. And then there's 2 lanes to go left and 2 to go straight on. So that'll be fine. We'll extend that a little bit there as well. And that should be good. That'll hopefully help traffic flow a little bit. It's also hopefully going to, like I said, just bring... I doubt it's going to bring much traffic away from here, but it might. I mean, it's got some traffic going, so I don't know. It might do something. What I do know is that we are about 200 people, 200 sims away from achieving our goal, from completing the scenario. Any second now, it's going to pop up that the scenario has been won. So honestly, I think that's going to do us for now when it comes to Greensville. I think there is definitely more that we could do here, but I'm going to leave it for the time being, because in the last video, I asked for suggestions for what we do next on the channel, and that is what we're going to do next. We're going to look into those suggestions. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to dive into 1 or 2 of them, 3 of them, 4. I don't know. That video hasn't gone out yet, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited though. I'm keen to get on with more things. This is the first series that I sort of started recording when it came to the whole return to YouTube thing. I think I might have done a little bit of mini motorways before I did this, but I scrapped those videos because they were terrible. I don't know. The point is, this is also like the first series that's wrapping up since I've come back to YouTube, and we don't usually do short City Skylines series. And we also don't usually finish City Skylines series either. They're usually abandoned, let's be honest. So this is nice. This is a nice feeling for me on a personal level. I'm kind of happy and proud. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. We might return to Greensville at some point. I might return with mods because I do like this map. I do like what we're doing, and I'd like to just detail things. And I think it'd be so interesting to go in here with mods and see how we can like turn it around. But that'll be somewhere down the line, probably, unless that's like the top suggested thing in the previous video, in which case that'll come up next and it'll be sort of like a Vanilla Sprinkles 2.0 thing. But thank you very much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.